More Spin to Win Cup, and now we have another best of 3 series with Save the Taco against the Munchies. And well, guys, we got Cho'Gall in the house. Over on the left side for the blue team on Aldrich Pass, our first map, we got me on Diablo, Taco on Rhaegar. Grolk is playing Greymane for the blue team, Dua Lipa on Sonya, and Kablamo on Falstad. To the right side, the Munchies with Mikaku on Tyrande. We got Old Master on Cho, Scar on Chen, Mila is playing Gal, and Griffos on Kel'Thas. So we actually get some Cho'Gall action in this. A Spin to Win Cup, again, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, this is in the amateur scene that this is being played out. It's 4 groups that funnel eventually into a bracket. We currently are in the group stage. And they have an interesting twist to how the teams are being formed. So the teams go on a website and they spin a wheel for every single role that gets played within the team, and then get randomly a hero within that role assigned. So you still end up with a normal team composition, but within those team compositions with your front line, back line, you still can end up with the craziest heroes, and this is essentially what's happening here. Falstad is already getting murdered by Kel'Thas as the Cho'Gall team is starting to take the lead with a quick kill in the middle of the map. But I'm already happy that we have Cho'Gall. Game number 1, we immediately get some Cho'Gall action, and together with that, of course, we also then have Chen, we have Kel'Thas. So you have a lot of damage here, and Sonya nearly gets wrecked in this instance and just barely makes it out of the fight. Falstad has to take over for experience for a little bit. This should be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting series here. We already had a lot of games out of the group stage. We're soon going to move on into the tournament phase. Every single group is, by the way, a best of 5 final, so to say, to determine the team that actually moves on from the group out of the top 2 spots within the group. And we're going to cover a couple of those matches as well. Those are actually best of 5s, but the majority of the games that are being played out in the group stage is, of course, best of 3s, as we already had. And the level actually varies. I mean, we have all kinds of levels in this one. Once that we're heading into the tournament stage, and then also towards the semis, towards the grand final, and obviously the top teams out of these groups will emerge. But it's still fairly entertaining what we had so far. And yeah, crazy comps. I mean, we had our Murkies, we had Novas, we had some wild builds as well, because you end up eventually with some people playing heroes that they're not all that familiar with, and that can cause crazy builds. One of the most spectacular ones was probably Sergeant Hammer with a very interesting build that was, I believe, even the first series that I commentated within this tournament. Not even going for the level 4 movement talent. That was wild. It has been a while since I haven't seen that pick, but yeah. Full-on mine build is essentially what we saw there towards the end. But well. Now that we are heading into level 4 in our first game of this best of 3 series, Falstad got attacked again in the middle of the map. There's obviously some potential CC chains that can be unleashed by the Munchies as well. If you go with Kel'Thas into your gravity lapse and then Tyrande follows up with the stun, you can actually nail a target down quite nicely. Then when we're looking over to the Tacos, we have Diablo that can bully people around. We have Totem build from Rhaegar, so once that progresses a little bit, Rhaegar can follow up with some CC of his own. We also have the first objective up. There's no Nubarak or anything that can really sneak in an objective by himself, but we'll see how aggressive the teams are around the objective. We'll see more of a focus on lane control and the mercenary camp, as we have now here, for example, where one of the teams is really trying to make an early play for the objective in the first prisoner camp here. But talking about making plays, Cho'Gall, look at that, he wants the camp. The Rhaegar is nearly dead. Camp is taken though, with Falstad moving in. This might actually be the end of Cho'Gall, and indeed it is. So what looked fairly promising at the beginning turned into a fiery death for Cho'Gall, because he just didn't have enough assistance there. If somebody else would have moved in to help him out, I think they might have been walking away with a kill, if not the camp. The idea behind it, I mean, I actually don't mind it. He was nearly successful. Oh, Diablo. Oh, they were probably a little bit more surprised than he himself, so nobody stopped him, and he's able to walk away, but that was definitely an adrenaline spike for him. So if he's running Garmin Watch, that definitely noticed that. Now when it comes to the builds, we have Kel'Thas now on level 7 straight up with Burn Flesh, so goes into the Flame Strike over here. Greymane is trying to counter Cho'Gall a bit and will most likely also go for the Bullet because for that exact reason. We have him now with a Wizened Duelist as his level 7 talent. And up at the top, Chen still pushing. Scar is holding the lane for the team here. Has in the meantime gone into Brewmaster's Balance as level 7 talent. Tyrande, by the way, with Mark of Mending and Hunter's Fury. So not going for necessarily what you would typically expect from her here. But yeah, well, we now have also the Edge of Madness in. Cho'Gall went into Power Surge after picking up Uppercut on level 4. On level 1 we got the Callous Tide, of course, for him. So Oldilla is still roaming around here as Kel'Thas gets killed by Falstad, soloed basically at the bottom of the map. Cho'Gall probably not too happy with his limited success that he had a bit earlier with the camp invasion. I also don't really know why he's riding a mouse. I mean, of all the mount choices that you could have gone for, why is it a mouse? Like, there was nothing else that he could have gone for if you're already getting Cho'Gall. I think there were a few other options that would have fit a bit better, but, well, as is, we have a leading experience for the blue team. So thanks to the Cho'Gall kill earlier and the 3 kill to 1 situation that they have going for themselves now, they not only start to take a lead on the objective, but they also are closing in on level 10 very, very quickly, which will put them into a nice position to get the first objective. The red team is currently not even bother trying to interrupt them in any way, shape or form. So here's the heroics. Bullet, as expected, of course, for Greymane. He needs to be the one that really chunks Cho'Gall down a bit as the game continues. And this first objective is going to be taken by the Tarkors. So with level 10, they grab the first set of the cavalry, and the only question is essentially how much damage can we do. We have a camp taken, and they are trying to invade. They still have level 10. Red team does not have heroics. Cho'Gall gets attacked immediately. Here's the ults, and the camp is stolen. So this really sucks for the Munchies. They thought, well, we can't take the camp. We can't take the prisoner camp. Let's at least take our mercenary camp, but then they didn't get heroic abilities in time, and the blue team just invaded and took them out right away. So, that's pretty unfortunate. Now you deal with a camp, you lose a little bit of time getting onto lane, so the cavalry is gonna do some work here. Cho'Gall is jumping in, they're trying to get a kill, and they take Greymane out. So Greymane is actually eliminated. At the top though, the wall has fallen, and of course it's not the only lane that is suffering a bit. Down at the bottom of the map, for example, Kel'Thas is the only one that is trying to deal with Falstad now. Sonya with Leap, we have with ults Upheaval, and also Twisted Nether for Gal. As this first fort is down to 50% of its HP, and now that Sonya rotates into the middle of the map together with Rhaegar, they are going to do quite a lot of damage here as well. The ult comes out but doesn't connect. But that's 2 forts now on 50% HP, and down at the bottom of the map the wall also got destroyed. So as far as first objectives go on this map in particular, that was pretty solid. That was a pretty good first objective for the blue team. They are still slightly behind, ahead in experience, but not really by all that much. So nothing really to write home about at this point. And the big question will be, how much does Cho'Gall scale into the late game? What exactly can he then do later on? Is Rhaegar and Greymane duo over here going to be enough to hold him at bay a little bit? Of course, also then leave for an added CC tool with Sonya. Even Gust could be used to put Cho'Gall a bit out of position. But so far, it's not doing too much here. Get some damage through, wall stun is in. But yeah, they're not following up on any of this. Tyrande has his back as well. So that's another one. But for now, still the blue team slightly ahead. I mean, Falstad is obviously a really nice addition for that draft too. The RNG was with them on that pick. This is a huge map, so if you have somebody that can control the side lane, then fantastic. On level 13, the Unfettered Assault now. They're also getting no escape from Sonya, so the added movement speed here, she can start to just absolutely latch onto a target and reach him down. But for the red team, it's just all about defense still. A lot of the structures are really low, but nothing has been destroyed yet. They're trying to go for Kel'Thas, but we saw that coming, so good communication on the red team side. Also, Tyrande moved in to help him out here, but still a bit of extra damage against the fort, so that helps. Next objective is also about to pop up, so camp announced and active in 10. Whereas Chen is still rotating between the lanes, trying to also make sure that the team is catching up in experience. But it's still a blue team that walks away with that lead, so they are all, I mean, all in all, they're a little bit more present on the map. Red team is resorting more to reacting to what's happening here. We now have Molten Block on level 13 and Rangers Mark 4 Tyrande. And they're actually trying to go for the boss. That is okay. Yeah, that is definitely going to be contested. So Falstad is already sniffing that out. I'm just waiting for the gust to hit. And Sonya and Greyman are also on the way. So yeah, Falstad is going to get ready. We'll barrel over. I'm going to get that in a moment. Already, Ancestral is out. There's the gust. Molten Block. Greymane in the backline as he's trying to go for the kill. Leap comes in. Boss taken by the red team, but they're not out of the fight just yet. Tyrande falls. That's one kill. Cho'Gall, on the other hand, wants to go for Falstad. Can't take him out here. And Cho'Gall is about to fall. Or is he? Is able to get out after killing Falstad. So it's a kill for a kill. And the red team got the boss. That's not too bad. Considering how quickly the boss attempt was scouted out by Save the Taco, that was probably the best case scenario. Getting the boss, trading a kill, that was not too shabby. So now it is the blue team on defense, trying to make sure that the fort at the bottom of the map doesn't take too much damage. Sonya in the middle getting attacked a bit too, but there's no pressure around the objective, there's no real pressure around the second boss yet. So the red team hasn't really done a whole lot with that little win that they just had. Some structural damage at the bot lane, obviously, but nothing that really forced the hand of their opponent on the map itself. Now, we still have our 1v1 of the solo laners here. Nobody has moved for the second objective yet. Seems like the blue team in particular would love to get level 16 first before they're making any kind of plays here. Can't really blame them. But with that, now here we go. Every single time I see like me here, I am reminded of my scooter. I have one of these little electrical scooters, and I think it's like a Xiaomi Mi something. Does anybody have one of these electrical scooters? Have you ever tried to change a tire on these things? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I broke metal tools trying to change a tire on this. You go on YouTube, you watch a tutorial, and everybody that you're watching there makes it look so damn easy. I don't know if they have special tires that you can just like flip on, flip off. But when I tried it, I literally broke tools. Absolutely crazy. I hope that somebody, like, drop it in the comments if you have experiences as well. I hope I'm not alone in this. I hope I'm not the only one that suffered. You know, you think you're going to do some manly things and you're going to repair some stuff by yourself instead of letting someone do it. And then after around 1.5 hours of you just like screaming, yelling, and breaking stuff, you just give up. It feels a little bit like putting together IKEA furniture. It's absolutely, it's insane. So, 16 versus 16. Talents even by now. We got the Leaden Orb after we had the Twilight Nova on 13. Falstad still one of the biggest assets for the blue team at the bot lane currently. And nobody has gone for the second objective. Apparently nobody gives a shit about these prisoners. The last ones they cared about, you know? But this one, they're like, nah, that guy, he can rot for all we care. Who gives a damn? So now finally some movement. Apparently they had enough. Maybe not. Ooh, keck play already for Sonya, who could still leap out, by the way, if she has to. And yeah, those were a few too many cooldowns pushed on her. At some point, even Sonya was, alright. I'm gonna sacrifice my cooldown, it's fine. You used a few ults on me too. I'm not gonna walk away out of this one scot-free, so I have to do at least something. Push in the middle now. They want to finally take some of these forts out that they damaged previously. Here on level 16, damage output. Oh, Ancestral on Rhaegar. 33,000 damage for Gal, 29,000 for Greymane. Ah, Diablo gets caught here. But still, not really a whole lot of kills for a couple of minutes now. We have 7 in total in the game. But ever since this boss fight at the bottom of the map, there was nothing that really forced it too hard. So now everybody is still looking for opportunities to rotate in and take either the objective or maybe even steal a boss away. But as it stands right now, we have Falstad, of course, with most of the siege damage for the blue team, as he's been taking care of most of the minion waves here consistently throughout the game. Now looking at the talents while we're closing in soon on level 20. Still have Greymane with 12 stacks on his Wizened Duelist. And has on level 16 then gone into a lot of his pack here. So I expected some other some other picks, honestly, considering that there's Cho'Gall on the other side. But talking about Cho'Gall, that Molten Block diverted a lot of the damage here, and Diablo goes down. Diablo is down, Taco gets also eliminated, and that's finally an opportunity for the Munchies to go hard here. But yeah, like a lot of his pack, I mean, okay, increases the auto attack damage a little bit, but just generally speaking, percentage damage with Alpha Wolf or anything else is usually the priority whenever we're talking about some Cho'Gall counters here. So that's what most of the people are doing. At this point, we have Giant Slammer, for example, for Sonya, which is definitely going to help her to boost the numbers a little bit and hopefully also to apply pressure to Cho'Gall. But right now, it is the red team that has finally started to take over. It's that late game Cho'Gall that is starting to give them a bit of an edge. Chen is moving up top. He's the only one currently, as they're still playing. Actually, he's not. Everybody else, with the exception of Khaldor for a while, moved up at the top side. They're still trying to get a kill here, and they might actually get Greymane. So the boss not taken. Greymane is dead. Objective given up for now. But with how many kills they're getting in these staggered deaths against Save the Taco, the Cho'Gall team is starting to put a real dent into the armor of their opponents. This is a huge chance now. They have the lead in experience by half a level. They've been playing from behind for a long time, but now they are starting to flip the script on the blue team. Yeah, Sonya is also in trouble. Might get away here. Has to leap out, or she would have probably died too. But here's the chance now for the Munchies to continue the pressure. And they kill Diablo. Another staggered death against the Tacos. And now, of course, the chance to go for the objective. Falstad, he at least got some XP for the blue team at the bottom of the map as he pushed in and started to take out more minion waves and pressure the fort further. But this objective is obviously going to be claimed. And yeah, Cho'Gall is now starting to move in. Misses Falstad. Not really on an intercept course or anything. But now 20 should lock in just as we're seeing the push come through. So they get the second objective and they have the level 20 talents in a few more seconds as well. Yeah, that would have been pretty bad, by the way. If they're now losing a hero, oh, careful, my friend. Yeah, barrel roll away before that gravity lapse hits you or you're going to be in trouble. Oh, and they are going to trade, aren't they? Look at that. Cooldown radar. Ah, sorry, no. I actually thought for a second, yeah, death timer decrease. Okay, there it is. Death timer decrease. And now it's going to get interesting, because in a big map like that, if you see a death timer decrease, that normally means that Cho'Gall is willing to sacrifice his life, YOLOing onto structures and just taking them out. And it's very difficult oftentimes for the opponent's team to deal with that on a big map, because by the time that you cross the map to punish the opponent for throwing a hero away late game, they've already respawned. So that makes things real tricky. Falstad is going to deal with the middle of the map, where the keep is taking damage. The fort in the mid and the bot lane have both been destroyed. And, well, they might destroy a few heroes at the top too. Here comes Sonya with another leap, trying to buy some time. Instead, she dies. So does Diablo. That's a double kill. And Cho'Gall makes it out. They're turning it on Greymane now. Greymane and Rega both in a corner. Rega gone, so is Greymane. That's 4 heroes that just died here, and it will end with the fort being destroyed. And down at the bottom of the map, the keep has taken some damage, might even take a little bit more, but all of the forts are now gone, and that's of course a brilliant position for the Munchies to be in. The Cho'Gall team is starting to do really well here. They should walk away with the keep, honestly. They can sacrifice Cho'Gall if they have to for that. I'm not 100% certain why exactly they moved into the top and didn't just go straight for the middle, where the keep has already taken damage and they didn't have to go through the wall. So that would have been a guaranteed kill. Could have maybe moved down to the bottom of the map afterwards and take the second one out. This one should still fall, but I think they might have even been able to walk away with 2 if they just timed it a little bit. Now, this play, if anything, worries me a little bit more. I mean, you can obviously go for the boss here. There's no real problem with that. The issue is simply that they already destroyed. Okay, the round it is not good. The only problem that I have with it is that the top side has already fallen, so one armor shield is removed from the core. Pushing with the boss now for the core is still a risk. That can work out for you. It's still a bit of a gamble. I think I would probably like it more if they would go for the double boss play or go for the objective instead. And just let the boss push and hope that the blue team moves back to defend the top lane. Which seems to be exactly what they're now going to do. Maybe hide a couple of their heroes, don't show all of them on the map. Basically, they just showed everyone with the exception of Khaldor, and he also wants to have a place in the picture from the looks of it. So they're rotating down now, trying to get the double boss play. But Sonya has already moved away from the top lane. They don't really care about that boss. They're just looking at this and they're saying, okay, with 2 armor shields, this is still fine. So this could be a throw moment for the Munchies. And they're realizing it as well and move back out. And we get the Ariad Crater on 20. Now, first of all, we have the Gillian Roulette, which I like a lot. Yes, the damage is reduced, but you can YOLO that bullet out so many times. It is honestly crazy. I've seen games where it's just bam, bam, shot after shot fired, and it's a bit bonkers. So over here, core gets attacked, but the problem is as usual the same. If you have only 1 armor shield removed from the core, that thing is still very, very tanky, and it of course recovers hit points also fairly quickly. They might still have to send somebody back, considering that the core is now down to basically a third of its hit points, and there's a huge minion wave coming too. So yeah, they're sending a few of their heroes back just to ensure that this is not going to lead to them losing the game. And that triggers instantly an attack towards the boss by the Munchies. So they're trying to get that second boss, and this one would help them a lot more if they take the bottom keep. But blue team obviously knows what's happening. Falstad still has gas, but I don't think the timing is going to work out for them. They're trying to hold the line, they can't, so the boss is taken. Falstad has been now 145,000 siege damage. Greymane top damage for the blue team with 51,000 against heroes. And Khaldor has actually overtaken Gal, sitting at 61,000 right now, as they are pushing for the bot lane and that second keep. Boss is slowly moving in. And he has a big opportunity now to go for the victory. At least take that keep out. I mean, that has to be a given. Objective is up on the map as well. It's the third one in the game. So far we've only seen 2. 1 for each side. But yeah, that boss is not kidding around. Damn, that bastard hit hard. So he's starting to chunk that keep down. That's a second armor shield removed for sure. Where are they going from here though? Oh, if they can get a kill right now, even better. They go for Sonya. And thanks to the gas, she's saved. The Ancestral comes out as well to sustain her. Leap an Ariad Crater and she immediately moves back. Immediately starts to move out here. I'm actually surprised to see Ariad Crater in this situation. So the core gets attacked again. Stun against Greymane on top of that. And the red team just falls back. Maybe they're playing this a little bit too safe, to tell you the truth. I think they could have applied more pressure and wait for some opportunities here. Disengaging always possible from their end, but they just figured, okay, we have 2 of the armor shields removed. We took 2 of the keeps out. Let's just play it slow from here. For the blue team, with 4 kills against 12, this is of course still a bit of a problem, but they have now another chance to try and bring this game back. Essentially, they are 2 keeps behind, 1 fort behind, so it's tough to come back from this, but it's not impossible, especially when you're running Falstad. You still have that global. Talking about Falstad, he's going full ninja mission, is moving in from the side to take the bottom fort out, good for him. But yeah, they definitely wanted their global there to take this on to make sure that there's a bit less pressure on that bot lane. But he will still spend a lot of time close to home trying to take these minion waves out before they're reaching the core, because that core is now vulnerable. So the objective is something that the blue team just cannot afford their opponents to take. They gotta contest this. They can't let that slide. There's just absolutely no way they're just letting this happen. That would be a death sentence. If they don't contest this, then I think they're gone for sure. This is a bit of a ballsy move to just simply wait this one out. 25 seconds now? Yeah, they are starting to funnel into the choke point. They know they got to contest this. They wanted to push some additional waves out, but that also means that they're a little bit down on the timer now. Timer is at 10 seconds roughly before it gets stopped. So, yeah, this is gonna get tricky. Cho'Gall is controlling the choke point too. They have to be a bit careful with the area crater from Sonya, of course. But especially Diablo at the front, as you can see. He's getting poked down consistently. Now, when it comes to the pure damage output, Khaldor, he's still leading the charge here. 76,000 as he gets the AoE damage in. Top and bot lane are now, of course, pushing. And while the blue team is trying to push for the prisoner camp, Cho'Gall is trying to flank. Gets stopped right away by Rhaegar, who drops the totem on him. It's like, no, my friend. Not that easy. But we're now 24 minutes into the game. And the boss at the top lane is back up. Objective, of course. Super important here. They go for the camp as well, trying to claim that quickly. Blue team realizes that not everybody is sitting at the objective, at the camp. So they're now trying to lock this one in and get themselves a second set of cavalries. It's a big wave, by the way, pushing at the bottom of the map. So yeah, this could get a bit tricky. Right now, the blue team can be happy that there's no global for the red team. Because if there was a global, then they could really just try and backdoor this a bit. But yeah, Diablo already with his ult. Here comes Chen. Diablo super low and goes down before the Ancestral connects. Sonya leapt in with the area crater, traps herself, and is about to fall. There's the Molten Block as Greymane tries to at least take Tyrande out, and he succeeds. Can he take Cho'Gall though? I don't really think so. It's all a question of whether or not he gets that kill, and he does! Nice! Greymane with a triple, baby! Greymane gets the triple kill. Now they're taking Falstad out too. So yeah, this is getting pretty interesting. That was worth a lot. If Greymane doesn't get those kills here, then it is a totally different story. If he dies and Cho'Gall survives, then I think it's game over. The core is already getting attacked here, but it's all about the objective. And currently looking at a 2 versus 2. Diablo, his problem is that he just doesn't have any stacks right now, and he gets kicked into the corner and killed. Yeah, Khaldor still lives. 44 stacks on his level 1. He has now 92,000 damage. And with that, the red team just says, alright boys, let's go, let's get that objective and just finish what we started here. And they should be able to end it with the next one. Cho'Gall, obviously, as I already said before, level 20 took the cooldown reduction on his death timer, which means that he's already back to business. So with that, he is going to be able to help the team out. The keep in the middle is already mega low. Taco himself is trying to stop this, but it's just not happening. Chen hasn't died yet in the entire game, by the way. So Chen, he's a survivor. The Kung Fu Panda in this game, he made it. 7 kills to 17. And now 26 minutes in, we have the Raiders slowly approaching. And even if Diablo is back in time, which he will be, I just do not believe that there is any way for the Tacos to save this. That would be quite the miracle if they somehow pull this off. There's already an attack coming towards the core through the top lane. This keep in the middle, obviously, doesn't stand a chance either. And is getting absolutely wrecked here. Yeah, no chance. And with that, we are going to see the Tacos lose game number 1. I mean, they're trying what they can. They're jumping in and they're trying to pull off what they can here. But that is it. That is game. The Munchies take the lead in the best of 3 series here at the Spin to Win Cup. GG. We're going to head into game number 2 in just a moment. Before we do, this video is actually sponsored, so big shout out to Holzcan. Guys, if you want to support the stream, check out the website. Even if you just go and click the link and browse along a little bit, that would already help. But of course, if you want to get yourself something, make sure that you use the discount code that is in the description. Holzcan has actually been a partner on the live stream for quite some time. They have awesome stuff. I myself have 2 of their watches by now, and even sunglasses. And I really like the things they produce. They use a lot of wood and stones in their designs. We had tons of people in the community that already got themselves a watch or something for a girlfriend or wife, and everybody was super happy so far. You can find something for any budget there. We have a pretty decent discount code as well, 15% I believe currently. So if you want to have a look, make sure that you check out the link in the description. And maybe you forgot Valentine's Day, so then this is a good opportunity to make up for that. And as I said, even if you just go and click the link, that would already help, cost you 2 seconds, but helps the stream out a little bit. I would really appreciate it. With that said, enjoy game number 2. Game number 2, Munchies are in the lead now that we're heading into Volskaya Foundry. And, well, on the left side, we got Taco on Jaina this time, and me on an Uberak. Grolk on Lucio, Kablamo on Falstad, so they have another Falstad. And we have Duo Lipper on Hogger. That's actually not too bad. If you're thinking about RNG combos, this is pretty straightforward. So there's nothing too crazy here. Even for the Munchies, I mean, we have D.Va obviously being played by Old Master right now. But besides that, this is still a fairly decent composition. Miller on Gul'dan, we got Griffiths on Garrosh, Sky is playing Greymane, and Mekako on Stukov. So, given all of the Murkies, Probiers, Asmodans, and Cho'Galls that we've seen, that's not too bad. So, that is a fairly normal composition, D.Va being the one exception here for the two teams. So the RNG factor with them spinning a wheel for those rolls has this time at least not hit them that hard. I like the surfboard mount quite a bit, by the way. The full-on Silver Surfer. There's a new Fantastic Four coming out. Pedro Pascal is now starring in that as well. I'm not sure if you saw the trailer. The trailer didn't do anything for me. There's some people that really just praise that trailer over the moon and they're like all excited about it. And I just looked at the trailer and I was like, nah. I was like, nah, like, I don't know. So, yeah. Kind of curious if this movie is going to be any good. I doubt it a bit, to tell you the truth. But I hope I'm wrong. Would be nice to have a pretty nice blockbuster there. But at this point, consider me to be a little bit skeptical on that account. But, yeah, either way. Now, down at the bottom right, first few items are now also being taken. The 1 minute mark has passed, which means that it's items time for the teams. Gul'dan, quite nice here, of course, also then for some structural damage later. Ooh, D.Va, careful. Yeah, Old Master is already getting chased hard, and that's first blood in the game. Actually, it isn't. My bad, sorry, they had the fight earlier. But, yeah, we have D.Va going down, so she's dead, and Hogger is working on the camp at the bottom left. Like, wait a second, there was a fight in the middle. Right. The typical 5v5, hey, the game just started brawl and we want some heroes to die. So let's start things off with that. But when it comes out of the actual gameplay, that was the first real kill, so to say. Now, we have a bit of a dive build for Anubarak, and they can of course start diving in with Anubarak and then follow up with Jaina. Not only the CC that she brings, but also all that burst damage. Also could go for a bit of isolation there too. Aha, Greymane? Yeah, from my side. Pressure from the blue team now. Not too happy with the result in game number 1, apparently. Hoping to force game 3 in this best of 3 series here in the group stage. So they're going to try and start to make some moves towards that goal. They have another global. I'm actually... they should be pretty happy with this. I mean... yeah. That's not really too bad. Now we have the potential battle over the thingy, over the healing beacon. Really making a move for that just yet, but yeah, with level 4 talent we got the nuclear option, we got Indomitable, and down at the bottom of the map we now got Kablamo, still just trying to control the side lane a bit. But the first objective is about to be up, and it seems to like at least the Munchies are interested in running the Protector here. Of course, when you're playing on Volskaya Foundry, it's always a little bit of a mixed bag, right? There's teams that just completely ignore the objective and say like, we don't really care about this at all, whatever, and the map is not really being played that much. Jaina at the top gets actually killed by Greymane. So a 1 versus 1 up there that Jaina just lost massively. A little Frost Princess over there. And yeah, down in the middle of the map, this is still the battle for the objective. Griffos against me right now. It is the Munchies that are getting a significant lead on objective number 1, but the blue team also doesn't have any of it. Just says like, alright, get the hell out of there. We are going to follow up on this just a bit. Now, top side, I like the rotations that they're going for here, especially of course getting Gul'dan into the position here, nearly killing Lucio by the way, but it's more so about taking the wall down than anything else. Hogger is now down at the bottom of the map and oh, they go for Garrosh! Oh, but Jaina is also taking a lot of damage. She's not the only one. Gul'dan is really chipping in some numbers here. Greymane, he wanted to go for the finishing move but couldn't quite get the kill here. But they are working the numbers, and Greymane is now at 11,000, Gul'dan is at nearly 10k. Only Falstad can contest that from the blue team. Everybody else is struggling a lot more on that end. Crest completed for Gul'dan, as everyone's attention focuses again on the objective in the middle. They're moving in, trying to set them up for a kill, potentially against either the birdie or against Nubarak here. Not successful just yet, but I like it. They are a little bit more aggressive than I necessarily expected them to. So, Jaina is obviously working on the baseline. She wants the ice block. Even items have already been sacrificed, have been used down here. And they try to go for protector number 1, as Hogger is also getting attacked, but it is really the red team that is getting the most damage done. Talking about damage, Jaina again, just getting absolutely wrecked here. She's sticking around so that she receives the heal. Oh, and they isolate Gul'dan. Nice! Yeah, he had absolutely no business being there. Gul'dan way too far out, and with him getting killed that easily, they have to give up the position that they had. D.Va is getting attacked again. Old Master is having some really big problems. That's the second time that D.Va now died. So, I would assume that we don't have a D.Va main on that team. Again, you're flipping a wheel to get your hero within a role, and I don't think they have a whole lot of D.Va players that they can rely upon in order to play that one out. So, now, blue team is still trying to get a bit farther ahead on the objective. They have the early level 10 as well. That obviously helps. Water Elemental over Ring. And we have Nubarak with his cocoon. And we get the sound barrier. So, Lucio is coming in with the sound barrier. Bunny Hop for D.Va. We get Greymane with Go for the Throat. And then Horrify from Gul'dan. And Hogger, he's locked in the Shockwave, as we have instantly Garrosh starting to make a couple of plays again. Yeah. Khaldor is 92% already for them. If they can hold this a little bit longer, then they are looking at Protector number 1. What they're going to do with that, that's a totally different story. We've seen way too many fights where the Protector was actually a problem for the team that locked them in. So I wouldn't quite celebrate yet if they get it, but it's actually the blue team that has caught up quite a lot, and they are pushing into the position now. And D.Va create some space for the team. So far so good on that. 4 kills to 2. But they're closing in. They might actually get it. Yeah, they got control. Gets contested again. Can they push them off once more? They're gonna try. Gul'dan needs to work the damage in right now, but is very, very low already. And D.Va gets attacked as well. Tries to bunny hop her way out. Falls dead. Wanted to get into position and nearly dies for his troubles. Gust had to be used, but in Nubarak, as he was helping the team out, he gets murdered. So does Falstead. What an absolute disaster there. Falstead trying to barrel roll over to get himself a good position for a Gust and force a fight, and then it just turns against them. But Jaina just murders everybody. 3 kills for her. And Taco himself carries the team to victory with the first objective. It looked really tricky as Nubarak died. Falstead nearly was destroyed. Lucio was barely able to prevent it from happening by popping his ult. And everybody else moved back right away, but now they get the first protector. And since everyone on the red team is essentially dead, they're getting some decent value out of this. So, no rotation to the top needed. You can't take out the fountain anyways. So instead they're attempting to take one of the forts out as soon as they can. And this is gonna happen. So the fort in the mid lane is destroyed. 9 kills to 5. And the blue team with some really cool moves around objective number 1. They were behind, were able to prevent the Munchies from grabbing the protector, and then locked it in for themselves, and got a lot of value out of it too. I mean, it's not even over yet. And Nubarak again, wow, making it out of the battle, but whew, he's drawing a lot of attention and fire, of course. So good for him, as long as he doesn't die, is fair. But they got a lot of damage in. Topside fort has taken some, the wall destroyed. In the middle, they took the entire fort out. Both of the teams now with level 13 talents, which gives us also the virulent reaction for Stukov. But not too bad. Dua Lipa at the bottom of the map, just locking in some experience for the team on the star crab. What are these things taste? That one probably tastes a little bit better. It's like black. I already told you at some point, if you ever make it to Spain, if you make it to Valencia in particular, make sure that you try paella negra, which is black paella. and it tastes amazing. Looks disgusting the first time that you see it, and when I saw it the first time, I was just like, bleh, I'm never gonna eat that. And then I tried, and now it's my favorite one, so it's absolutely amazing. If you ever make it to Spain, make sure that you give that a shot. So I imagine that crab mount is part of the combo for that paella. That would make perfect sense to me. The red team, on the other hand, they are just getting fancy, aren't they? So yeah, Garrosh goes down. Huge fight forced by Save the Taco. And they are... Oh, that Falstad is dead. And they did a decent job in the last few fights to save the Taco. Jaina rewarded them with a lot of damage that she dished out. And now that they're at least trading kills here, the camp wasn't quite stolen. But when it comes to items, they're not looking too bad. But of course, you would love to do some more damage here. And Greymane now move towards the top to try and force this wave down, get the experience, and also protect the fort. But that triggers the immediate attack at the bottom of the map. But I really like this. You see Greymane topside, you know, one hero is dead, you have your damage dealers together, you can rotate quickly with Lucios. There's absolutely no reason not to move in here, get Greymane into a good position, and just get some damage in on the fort. You don't have to take the entire thing down, but as long as you rotate over, you do some damage, you can repeat that. Rinse, repeat later on, and then take the next structure out. Experience gain, the passive experience gain has now already been increased, obviously, for the blue team. They don't benefit from that too heavily yet, but if you just look at the numbers here, they are slightly behind in minion experience, they're behind in mercenary experience, and their passive XP gain makes up for that to an extent at least. So this really helps, and if they're able to take another fort down at the bottom of the map, then hey, even better for them. And they're going to be able to probably pull ahead quite a bit. 16 talents are already in. Hogger is the only one in the entire game that hasn't died yet, by the way. On the damage numbers, we also have him far ahead of everyone else. 39,000, which is pretty respectable. Gul'dan with 33 is chasing him. So is Jaina, the two mages fighting their own little battle to see who the better damage dealer is. And then on top of all of that, of course, the next fight as Garrosh gets focused at the front once more. Hogger is jumping in, gets silenced. Stukov with a great reaction. Job well done, and the blue team is back to 4 heroes. Numbers advantage for the Munchies, who have already taken the lead in this best of 3. So this is the chance to see if they can do a bit more. Force another win on Volskaya Foundry. So far it hasn't really gone too great, but this might be the moment to flip the game. And a 2-0 victory would go a long way, of course, for their ambitions in the group. And their ambitions to get into the final bracket of the tournament. Garrosh. Yeah, right, he's still fine. Still fine. Objective, by the way, is back up. So now we're talking about the second protector up at the top lane. We have quest nearly completed for Garrosh on level 1. Greymane, he went into a lot of his pack as well now on level 16. We have also the next camp about to be claimed. Seems like the red team is going to be a little bit too late to make a play for that. Yeah, Jaina and Falstad are going to grab that healing beacon. From the looks of it, Gust still had to be used, but still, well done. Get the Gust out, play it safe. Jaina has long ago already completed her baseline, which means that she has Ice Block now available. On 16 she went into the Numbing Blast, so it's going to be able to use even more CC. And oh, talking about the CC damage, here comes the play for D.Va again. They go for Gul'dan too. Root against Hogger. That's now the second time in a row that Hogger gets absolutely caught off guard by the plays of Stukov and essentially taken out by him. But the revenge of the blue team. They come in, take D.Va out, and they hope for more. They make another move for Garrosh. And Stukov barely saves it. The question is just for how long. Greymane and Garrosh both mega low, and both of them are somehow able to escape here. But it's always the red team that just feels like they are yielding. They have to move back and save themselves, whereas the blue team has now, with the beetles that are being spawned by Nubrak, realized another chance to go for the fort at the bottom of the map, and this time it's going to be taken out. So after the mid lane fort has been destroyed, the one at the bottom of the map follows. That means a bit more catapult pressure. Jaina is already attempting to get slightly ahead on the objective for the team. So she's just sneaking a bit of progress in here. They've been doing well with the first objective earlier. So they used the first Punisher, the first Protector, to go straight to the middle. And with a cam taken, Gust has already used Gust and Cocoon to secure them the item. So they use both here. Yeah, Jaina with 32% on the objective. Didn't follow up with more. She's still sitting topside. They're trying to go for level 20 now too. But the red team is looking to see if they can force a fight somewhere. They want to do all of that before level 20 talents are ready. And they even rotated towards the top to try and take Taco out. But Jaina paid attention and moved back in time. So they couldn't flank in for her. And of course you can still play that false stat. Which is what they're doing. They have false stat at the bottom of the map now. And they're using him to get ahead in experience and also push that bot lane out a bit. If the fight at some point focuses onto the top because of the objective, then he can push catapults towards the bottom wall and see if that is going to allow them to get some damage done there as well. The interesting part for me currently is actually that the red team seems to be willing to let a lot slide here at the top. I would have assumed that they're going to try and contest the objective, but so far none of that is really happening here. So that might get a little bit tricky. I mean, D.Va is still at the bottom, but we have now 61% for the blue team. And they're even getting access to the top side fort and start to attack that right away. So that's a lot of free damage that they're getting in without even using the objective or anything of the sorts. So the red team needs to be careful. They of course needed level 20, which was part of the reason why they played the way that they did. But this can still get tricky. Here comes the Protector. 20 talents on both sides. Rewind is in. Wind Tunnel into the corner. Big stun from Orca. Big stun from him. That one was actually amazing. It was a fantastic stun after falls that lined them up for Hogger. And that's now 4 heroes down. That was beautifully played. That was really well done here. Yeah, look at this. The stun after they got pushed into a corner. Now they have the objective. They can move with it through the top lane. They've already taken out the topside fort. And yeah, this is exactly what they needed in this situation. And direct path straight towards the core even possibly. So yeah, they can do a lot of work on this one now. Keep is nearly destroyed. Well, before you go for the core, you still have to take the keep down. That has not changed. So yeah, this is still something that you gotta work on. But they make it happen. Seems like we're gonna go to game number 3. Currently, the situation is looking better and better for the team in blue, meaning they take it, they force the 3rd map of the series. We are going to a 3-mapper as the final map approaches between the Munchies and Save the Taco. Game number 3. So the final map, we're going to Dragonshire to figure out which team is gonna take this one. Which team wins it here. Over on the left side, we have the blue team with the Taco himself on Gul'dan, Kablamo on Teriel, we got Dua Lipa on Zul, me on Uther, and Grolk on Tigers. So, Teriel, Uther, yeah, so quite a lot of sustain and survivability here. Zul to help out at the front, and then Tigers Gul'dan for damage. Ah, but there's the RNG factor. Oh boy, look at the red team. They get D.Va again. That's the second time that they're running D.Va. Griffiths on Diablo. Old Masters giving it another shot with D.Va in the meantime. We have Scar on Greymane. Have seen that before. Mila on Kel'Thuzad and Mekako on Tyrande. This is some weird RNG that they're having. Not only have they multiple heroes again here on the 3rd map that they previously already played, but now we have them also with Kel'Thuzad and D.Va again, whereas the combo for the blue team looks a bit more normal. I think one of the linchpin plays is probably Teriel. If they have a decent Teriel player, then they can do a whole lot here. If Teriel is something that no one on their side plays, then this is going to be a very different story. So that's one of the points here, but I would assume that this is gonna... This should be an interesting one. I mean, level 1 we got the Shackler for Zul, we have Art and Restoration for Teriel, so going into the tanky build here, Kel'Thuzad with the Barb Chains, that's of course another big question mark. is Kel'Thuzad going to be able to really pack a punch here? But whoever wins this map takes the series, and for your position within the group stage, this is going to be an important one. Get those points. Oh, quickly for the neutral camp at the bottom of the map. Diablo, the one to try and take this. Owl now flying away towards the top. I mean, you kind of give away your own position with this, of course, too, just from the angle of it. But now they are taking this particular camp, and they might just be pushing with it to try and take that wall out. Siege Giants have been taken on as well. And yeah, some nice connects from Khaldor already as he's attempting to stack his baseline for the extra damage. But here's the first tower that gets destroyed. They go through the gate, and they're gonna take the next wall out as well. Tigers has gone into the bigger they are to counterplay Diablo. And we're getting a Divine Vigor for Tyrael. So they destroy the entire wall. The problem is that D.Va at the top is very much alone against the camp and Zul and, well, Tigers. So Greymane is now rotating over to try and help out, but obviously he's not going to be in time to stop that onslaught here. They're going to lose the entire wall as well. And by now, the blue team has also full control over both of the shrines, which means that technically they have a chance to lock in a Dragon Knight. And I think they might get this one. If Uther walks in just a little bit sooner and gives Tyrael in the middle another second, they got a Dragon Knight here. So the red team, they gotta tighten up ship a little bit. This could have gone real bad for them. Yeah, that could have gone horribly wrong for them. I mean, as it stands right now, this all worked out still, but there was definitely a chance for this to be a little bit of a disaster. So thankfully for them, it didn't come to that. But imagine that Dragon Knight being snuck in this early and them suffering the consequences on this. I don't think they would have been too happy about that, so we'll see. I mean, all the way up at the top, the blue team is already back at it, so they're trying to take control here. Down at the bottom of the map, though, the red team present, ensuring that it's not going to be that easy to grab an objective. But this could still be a wild game that we're getting to see here. And again, it comes down to a best of one, right? This is essentially the final map, so this is really the moment where you need to try and make your best plays. And yeah, they're already going for that immediately. So, let me see. What can they do to this one? I mean, this is a 4 vs 4 right now. If they can somehow get Diablo, for example, here, and take him out, that would already be a massive, massive win for them. But yeah, time will tell. Right now, we have one single kill. One kill is all that we got so far. Not much more than that. Red team now with a double control. Uther has, by the way, on level 7 gone into Guardian of Ancient Kings. So already slight variations from what we typically see here. I'm more so interested in what we're getting as a level 10 abilities, because there's definitely a bit of wiggle room for the teams. Looking over to the red team, at least D.Va is seemingly having a bit of an easier time with all of that. But then at the same time now also the problem that in the middle we have the Dragon Knight potentially claimed, and Zul sneaks past. Oh, but they're claiming control at the bottom of the map. Okay, so this is actually getting a bit wild. If they could have held on to the bottom control a little bit longer and then D.Va and Zul just walk past each other and D.Va doesn't realize it, then all of a sudden that could have been an absolute monstrous problem. So as it stands right now, they're starting to push once again for the bot control. Greymane is sitting in the middle. The blue team is trying to take at least the bot lane control away from them. It's a nice back and forth that we have between the two teams. Gives a lot of opportunities also for Khaldor to try and get his stacks together on his baseline. So that's another one that he's currently playing around with. He's of course aiming to see if he can get that extra damage out and then really carry the team. But they are already getting kills. Greymane jumping in again, and then Khaldor putting on the final touches allowed them to get a kill against Gul'dan. Double control again. They retake the bottom of the map, but sometimes I really feel that they should stay a bit longer in the middle just to ensure that they're not going to just give up control too easily. Here's level 10 though. This is where things are going to get spicy, because there comes Judgment. That's exactly what I was waiting for. Judgment for Tyrael. No Sanctification or anything with the play that they're executing here. And Kel'Thuzad is going for Frost Blast. So we get a Judgment play from... Oh, there it is already. Judgment immediately. They go for Tyrande. Diablo used the APOC straight away, trying to shut those plays down. And, yep, that is looking pretty alright now. So Judgment and follow-up coordination from them. And on the other side, you're getting the moves with Apocalypse to try and make sure that it's not going to get too tricky. But this is getting pretty dangerous. Because with Judgment, if you... Let's say, for example, you go on Kel'Thuzad, right? If you are locking in Kel'Thuzad with Judgment and you get that stun, you can immediately get that kill. That's a massive squishy that you can take out with no problem whatsoever. They have more control now on the objective as well. So it's still only 2 kills in the game and we're already 7 minutes in. But currently, this is gonna get... I was actually expecting somebody to move into the middle and try and claim this one. But they totally let that one slide. So they haven't made any play for that. Down at the bottom of the map now. Even a move for Tyrande once again. And it all hinges again on Tyrael and his Judgment engage. If they play that card well, they should be able to lock a kill in. Especially, of course, with Gul'dan potentially following up with his ult 2. There's Judgment on Kel'Thuzad, but where's the damage? They don't follow it up with the damage numbers there, and yep, that's an issue now, of course. The quest, on the other hand, on level 4 at least for Kel'Thuzad so far completed. 17 stacks now on the baseline. We got 21 stacks for Tyrael on his Ardent Defender. Diablo! Diablo was nearly dead. Drops the APOC and then says like, forward! The man knows one direction and that is all. Just straight face, that's all that he has. Retreat, that's not in his vocabulary. I think he could have actually walked away from this one. And it just did not work out at all. He just went straight ham. Straight in their face again. I like myself a Suicide Diablo as much as the next guy, but I think in this case he had a decent shot of getting away. So that's something that could have probably played out a little bit better for them. Only 3 kills in total. We have level 12 versus level 12. We're now 8.5 minutes in. We haven't seen a Dragon Knight yet. When we're talking about raw damage numbers, Gul'dan with a 34,000 is currently top dog. Look at Greymane, for example. He's top damage on the red side, and he has only 18,000. So they are really trailing when it comes to damage numbers. But if they concentrate their efforts on a single target, I mean, a good engage by Diablo followed up with a Tyrande stun can do a lot for them. Judgment again. Diablo low, but he makes it. They have to give up that fort, though, don't they? Yeah, seems like they have to give up the fort. I don't think that they have a chance there. Greymane cutting this one close too, but he survives. The fort, though, that gets destroyed. Here comes Horrify. They try for Diablo again. The red team is really having a tough time with survivability down here. Kel'Thuzad with his ult. If they sync that up with the Apocalypse just a little bit better, they can do so much here. But they get the Gul'dan kill regardless. Gul'dan goes down and now it's a 4 versus 3. So maybe they can do more here. Tyrael went deep and really drove them back. But Diablo jumping on a minion, attempting to close the distance so they can force the fight against the remaining 3 heroes. Didn't quite work out for them. But yeah, towards the top, at least D.Va is getting some gaining ground against Zul. So we're in for a treat here in game number 3. Definitely a lot of action happening. Once that we have Kel'Thuzad done with his quest, he also gets an additional damage boost. That's going to be pretty neat as well. I mean, right now we already have Zul getting isolated a bit. Tyrande, though, not following that up with a stun as she needed to. They still get the kill. We're able to get the stun on Zul, the second one, and then they get the drop on him. So Zul is down. That's now 3 kills to 2. And the red team, despite all of the troubles that they had, especially at the bottom of the map, is slowly starting to pull ahead a bit. Not by much, but they're starting to flip this slightly. Now, they're still behind in structures. That is a problem that they have to remedy if they want to be successful here. But we'll see. Oh, and as I said, Khaldor gets killed. So Khaldor is down at the bottom of the map. Yeah, he should not be alone, honestly. He's just too squishy, and whenever Tyrael gets a shot at him, he is going to take that and will drop him. That's exactly what happened there, essentially. So now they're making another move in the middle for the Dragonite. Khaldor back, of course. His level 4 got reset. Tychus goes down at the top, killed by Greymane and D.Va. And here in the middle, the Divine Shield had to be used by Uther in order to survive. So the blue team has to be a bit careful. They're down one hero. D.Va takes over the top, but also has to defend the fort, which is getting attacked and takes a lot of damage. Tyrande has apparently sipped the beer or two before the game started. Mekaku is not connecting too many of the important hits. Has 16 stacks on level 1 on the other hand. So shout out on that end. But Mila still not completing the quest. That's another problem. Not completing the baseline quest for the extra damage. So that's an issue. And yeah, here's the next play for the objective, and this time it's successful. They had control over the top since they killed the heroes. They are Dragonite now taken by D.Va. How a mech turns into a dragon with a battle axe, that's something that somebody has to explain to me at some point, by the way. And don't say magic. Just don't say magic. But yeah, that's always a bit of a wild one. So they have the Dragonite at the top, and I think that's going to give them at least a fort. Prison at the bottom of the map. Diablo trying to get away here, but this is still gonna be tricky. So is he somehow gonna be able to pull something off here? Nah, I can't get the kill. So it's 4-4 on the kill count. And yeah, the punt against Zul by the Dragonite after he killed the fort at the top, and they nearly get a kill on him. Divine Shield saves the day. I love nothing more, honestly, than a Dragonite ability. It's always so much fun to just see him punt people around. And if you have a good punt and you just get somebody killed through that, it's hilarious. It's one of the most silly deaths that you can possibly encounter. But in this case, did everything right. It would have been just so perfect if they could have gotten kills. Oh, look at that! Nice follow-up from Khaldor this time. Apoc into Khaldor ult, and Tychus goes down. They want Gul'dan, they nearly get him. Tyrael! He wants the explosion, and Greymane jumps away. Uther is dead. They get the triple kill here. Yep, that was a spicy one. That definitely was a spicy one. Now they're trying still for Gul'dan. They can't get the kill, but they should be able to take the fort down at the bottom of the map, I would assume, right? I mean, at this point, you would assume they can take this one. So the fort is destroyed. 7 kills to 4, and we are on level 18 right now. 14 minutes into the game. But this is by no means over. Especially this judgment combo that they can execute against the squishies is going to be dangerous. They gotta get past Diablo. Diablo sitting there at the front, and D.Va too. That can definitely be a huge problem to get past the lead shield to the squishies. We have Greymane by now on 43,000 damage. We look at the damage numbers on the other hand. I mean, look at Tyrael, for example, 42,000. Tychus on 48,000. Gul'dan, 65k. So lots and lots of big damage coming from the blue team. That is definitely going to help them here if they can just keep that up a little bit. And yeah, like coordinate that on the same target. They are falling behind in the kill count, but if they get the coordination right, they can do a lot here. They have with Tychus also the grenade that they can use. Even Diablo is not safe with the bigger they are being a factor here. And then you have CC options with Uther, you have Horrify, so there's a lot. Same is true for the red team, obviously, who is now about to lock in level 20. So we're getting that any second. And with level 20 talents, we got the Eye of the Huntress, as they're following Zul over at the top and take him down. So Necromancer is dead once again. Benediction for Uther is also going to be helpful, no matter if they want to stun or just go through with the heals. We have now Death Chill. Death Chill. Yeah, that sounds right for Khaldor. What's his damage number? I actually haven't really looked at it. 29,000! Step it up, my friend! What is this? Somebody got to step up his game. Like, that is just disappointing. I'm not even mad, I'm just disappointed. Level 20 gives him another Dragonite. Okay, that's the second objective in the game. And here comes the quick kick. Boom. And Gul'dan gets kicked away. So, that's the last fort that will be destroyed on the red team side. Fort about to go down, and they are opening the wall up at the keep too. So, the only question is, how much further can they go on this one? Can they take the keep itself out? It doesn't really seem like it. It's a little bit unfortunate for them also that Greymane is the one that is in the Dragonite. He's one of the best damage dealers that they have against structures. In an ideal world, you want him to contribute there. But yeah, they decided against that. They wanted to have the mage behind this. So they open the wall up, but they don't go for the keep yet. Tyrael also, with 45 stacks now on his level 1, should probably point this out as well. Which means that his heal amount is pretty decent at this point. So yeah, stacking this up, scaling into the later stages of the game. Tyrande with 23 stacks now on her level 1. And yeah, Gul'dan is now all alone up at the top. As long as they have vision, that's fine, but if not, then he needs to retreat. Because he doesn't have a lot of escape tools here. With the level 20 talents, they went into the big red button, of course. We got the Bulwark of Light. You can see that all the time. Haunt is in. And yeah, Greymane. The stuns are always a little bit short. This Tyrande and Diablo coordination is not really on point. They have some moments, but they had so many that just did miss by barely a midget. Ah, nice! The ult from Khaldor straight into an Apocalypse. That one at least worked out for them. I like the coordination on that. That guaranteed them a kill against Zul, who is doing a lot of dying currently. That's the third time now that he's been eliminated. The fight isn't over though. Seems like D.Va goes down, but Tyrael gets also eliminated. So it's a kill for a kill. He explodes back in. But it's still a 4 versus 3 for quite some time now. So the death timers are rising. Numbers advantage for the red team. And maybe an opportunity to make a play here. Objective isn't up, but hey, if you can get a few more stagger deaths against the blue team, then fantastic. Here comes the body block, and Uther is dead. Yeah, he did not go into redemption on level 20, so that means that he is down for sure. There's the follow-up. Oh, did they get a stun, Tyrande? Cooldown apparently wasn't ready. That they get the beautiful follow-up from Khaldor. Mage against mage, and Khaldor is just having none of it. Comes in, he doesn't take any shit today. He comes in and just murders Gul'dan, gets the kill here. That spell kills to 5. And yeah, that was very, very nicely done. So, awesome. Good stuff. Following up on the advantages that they had and just dropping people. I like it. Now, can they do a bit more with this? The objective wasn't up, so they're going for the mercenary camps right now. I think they might have been able to just push for some of the structures too. They had Greymane still, so that would have worked. But the game is very heavily flipping in favor of the Munchies now. Save the taco. They are having some problems, to say the least here. They need to get back in those team fights. It just feels like they're rattled a little bit in a lot of these battles. And that's a bad spot to be in for them right now. So yeah, they're trying to bring this back, but it's going to be tricky. Now, we have control about to be taken at the bottom, at least, on the shrines. The next objective is up, and there's a good chance that this is going to be the last objective, no matter who takes it. Even if the blue team claims it, there's only the keep standing at the bottom, and then you could go for core. So depending on how you play that out, you can actually still end the game with that. We're 20 minutes in now. Once the objective is taken, you know, even more if you win a big team fight in the process. This is definitely doable. But you need to win the team fight first. And yeah, that's where we'll see how this goes. D.Va also, I gotta say, Old Master, having a lot more success now with D.Va than in the previous one. I don't know if he's really a D.Va player. We talked about the RNG factor in the team compositions, and the last time that he played D.Va, he struggled a lot. Now he's doing a lot better. I'm not saying that he's totally carrying the game here or anything, but if you compare the two performances on D.Va, then this one is definitely way ahead from what we've seen previously. So good for him. to make that work for the team. And improve here. We have Greymane and Tyrande, both without a death. Specifically in the case of Tyrande, that's actually pretty impressive. So yeah, good positioning here throughout the game from Mikaku. Sometimes maybe a little bit too far away from Diablo to get those stuns in, but well, working out right now. Tyrael! Yeah, that judgment. We're still waiting for it. Went on level 20 into the Seal of Eldruin. So yeah, made that choice. A bit more damage on his own part. You can't really tell how everybody is playing it a bit safer, because everybody knows this could be the final one. This could be the final battle. This could be the final huge play. We gotta be mega careful. We can't be too aggressive around any of this, because this is likely what the game is gonna be decided. This Dragon Knight. Double control for a few seconds. D.Va's already channeling the Shrine topside, so nothing is going to happen here, nothing too crazy. And right now, again, the play for Tyrael. Not enough damage yet. But those are these are the moments. Get that one stun, follow it up properly. Hunter's Mark from Tyrande, and all of a sudden, one kill might just give you that edge that you need to carry the team fight. 56 stacks for Tyrael. Tyrande is soon going to complete a level 1 talent too if this continues. So, there. Just a little bit of poke over here. Diablo at the front. But he's also getting poked down quickly. APOC! Oh, the Bunny Hop comes in. They go for the APOC. Horrify is already out. Diablo, this is going to be a problem. Tries to jump away with the Hellgate. Gets hit by Judgment and goes down. Had at least his soul stacked, so he's going to be back, but the fight is still ongoing. And by the time that he's back to business, they might have lost another hero. Here comes the push for D.Va. They're trying to take Old Master down, who's attempting to escape, but runs straight into Tigers. That's the kill right there for the blue team to potentially give them a path to victory, or at least to an objective. They're pushing in for the fort. They want more. They want follow-up kills, and they might have gone a little bit too deep. Diablo came back. No soul stacks this time. A lot weaker, but is just barely able to survive. And the blue team, even though they went very, very deep for potential follow-up kill, they survived too. For a moment, I really thought that two of them would go out there. They got attacked right away by that 4-2. That didn't really look too great for them. Now we have Zul sitting top and starting to take control here. So is this going to be the Dragon Knight? It seems like it. They go for the camp. They're not interrupting. And that is a DK. So Dragon Knight, 23 minutes in. Greymane tried to get close enough so they can interrupt it with a shot. That didn't work out. That fort is definitely going to be destroyed, so they're just going to walk past that. I would assume that they're still making a play for the bot lane. There's, by the way, Siege Giants slowly pushing for that keep, and another set of Siege Giants is also coming here. So they're deciding to go through the middle. That also means that the bot lane pressure is just going to mount up as this continues. I'm not sure if that is the right play, to be honest with you. It's already tricky if you don't have anybody deal with those Siege Giants in the first place, but if you let minion waves still follow through the bot lane, you're going to take damage on that keep for sure. You might lose the entire thing. So while they have the Dragon Knight and are trying to make a play, they're losing their bottom key. Greymane goes down though. That's a huge, it's a massively important kill right there. Dragon Knight is already gone. They got no Dragon Knight or anything, but now they have to decide how they want to play this. And down here, yep, the Siege Giants, they're ripping that keep apart. Zul is too late. They lost a keep. They got the DK and they lost a keep. That just hurts. It hurts a lot. Tigers is at 120,000 damage. Gul'dan at 115,000. And then you compare that to the damage output of the red team, and they're nowhere near that, but they have more kills, they're coordinating their attacks better. And of course there's a lot of AoE damage over time that we have on the side of Save Satako, and that just doesn't do anything for you in a lot of these situations. But still, getting the Dragon Knight and then losing a keep in the process while simultaneously not really accomplishing a whole lot is a problem. You could argue, hey, they took the fort out, but who cares about the fort? This is gonna get really dangerous now. I mean, we're basically back to where we were before, with just the red team having a bit of a better position because now there's a heat missing on the left team side. That's essentially where we're at. So right now, Shrine's activating again in another 27 seconds. And then we're talking objective again. We're now 25 minutes into the game. So, yep, things are definitely starting to get spicy here. 25, 26 minutes in. Whoever takes the next objective, that bad boy is going to hurt. Yeah, the next Dragonite is going to hit hard. Like, really hard. And there's catapults now down at the bottom of the map. They're already taking here. Everybody is sitting in the middle of the map right now. Slowly making their moves for this. But, yeah, trying to also, of course, get these kills now. Tigers has pushed out the top lane a little bit. I mean, at the end of the day, they're also, of course, attempting to push these lanes out just slightly so that they have a decent shot here. But nothing has happened there just yet. Decent shot, I mean, like, you know, get some catapults and get some waves and try and take some of the structures out without even having to push and just utilizing the macro aspects of it. But, yeah, that didn't really work. How much damage does Tigers have by now? Still sitting at 120. No more grenades that he connected since then. It's actually wild that they have two heroes that are already in the Stitcher Club. Siege damage of D.Va is at 274,000. Not bad, my friend. Tyrande still hasn't died. Tyrande still has not fallen. This is also just wild. Tyrande is just a survivor over here. But okay. So, Tyrande has not been eliminated. Now we have everybody still moving around and looking desperately for opportunities. And the red team is actually grabbing both of the shrines for a moment. So, hello? What the fuck? What just happened? Did you just give them a Dragonite for free? 30 minutes into the game, essentially? Are you guys high? What just happened? They just walked away from it and said, like, you want it? Take it. You gotta be kidding me. How does that happen? What was the shot call there? Did they go all blind simultaneously? Diablo's even dead, but just the Dragonite just hammers away. The blue team had just point decided it's too much pressure for us. We can't handle it anymore. Take the game. What on earth just happened? They went for a mercenary camp and just gave them a 30-minute Dragonite. GG, the Munchies take the best of 3. It's a 2-1 victory for the red team here at the group stage of the Spin to Win Cup.